Alright, I just want to talk about the most important things to be healthy, longevity, to feel good, basically. Mentally and physically and spiritually, whatever that is for you. So one thing is, people just think a lot that it's working out or doing cardio or eating well, which is very, very important. So let's start off with that. Eating well is one. It makes a huge difference. And I know people don't think it does, but it does. It's a huge difference. Especially when you're old. Especially when you're not just, if I went out and I lifted weights for half an hour, whatever it is, and I did it a few times a week, but I do more than that. I go hiking, I do cardio, I do endurance, I do a lot of physical things, and I'm pretty old. And when I eat, and I've been off and on the food health wagon while I'm still doing my endurance hikes. Now I can tell you the difference of what I put in my body is night and day. Like if I'm eating healthy things, I have more stamina, I have more endurance, I recover more, I don't get any pain. If I eat absolute trash and I go hiking, not only do I have less endurance and I recover less, but I'll feel like a little, it's probably inflammation. I have to go pretty long, but if I eat right, I don't feel shit. I just get sore, I get tired, no injuries, So food is important, and people don't think it is, but it is. Believe me. Number 2, alcohol intake. It's a game changer, dude, I'm telling you. Huge game changer. And I'm not saying you have to quit alcohol, but yeah, I'm saying you do have to quit the moderation, for sure. That moderation is done. If you're gonna drink, you drink once in a while and you just have a drink or two, and it's once a week, if that, to be honest with you. And if you're gonna drink in moderation, it's only on occasions. I used to like to drink a lot, and I thought this would be a struggle. It's not. You get used to feeling good and feeling awesome, and that sometimes when and if you do drink and you wake up the next day and you might not be hungover, but it just does not feel the same. Like that energy is is not there, and I like feeling that. I think it's vitality or whatever. But then the next one for me would be sleep. Sleep is big. Sleep is recovery. Sleep is growth. A lot of sleep happens. Your brain gets detoxified. Your body heals. You get rested. You produce growth hormone. Also, when you drink alcohol, you produce less of it. So the older you get, drink less. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so sleep is freaking big. It's up there. I think it's underestimated as well. Sleeping is major. And yeah, I guess health, exercise and cardio is another one. Resistance training is also important. Building muscle or keeping it. And the older you get, the more important it is, because we lose muscle mass. So the older that we get, let's say you're 25 years old and you weigh 180 pounds. And when you're 50 or 45, you might weigh the same, but what your body does is your muscle mass decreases and your fat increases. So you still weigh the same, but your muscle mass goes down. And that's where the term also comes from, skinny fat. So just because you're not overweight doesn't mean you're not healthy. You could have not enough muscle mass and have more body fat on that body of yours, instead of having it more of a healthy balance. So resistance training is important. The muscle on your body, it regulates sugar, it helps metabolism, depression, all kinds of stuff. It keeps your testosterone high, which that in general is very important for health. Mind. For your mind, probably even more. So there's that. So another one is probably anger, stress, how you take things. So in my opinion, when somebody is anxious or insecure or self-conscious, it also makes them self-centered, selfish, inconsiderate, because they're only thinking internally. They're blinded and fogged by what the outer situation is. All they think about is, how do I feel, or why, me, basically, and I'm scared, I'm insecure. I've been in situations now where I can see the bigger picture and I can see other perspectives. I'm not thinking like, woe is me, right? Because when you're thinking that way, you're internalizing, you're always feeling like, something's going on with you, or who's fucking with you, or you're a victim. But it's not always like that. So I've basically, sometimes we all just fall into an environment or something. It has nothing to do with you or that other person. Sometimes we're just in situations, right? It happens. So I've been able to assess things for what they are without having my emotions get in the way, and I'm able to think clearly, and I'm able to, even at times I've even been able to take control of the situation. Basically everybody's behavior changes, basically. So sometimes you just gotta kind of take lead. So anger, being in control of your emotions, basically. Don't react. I heard this the other day, and I quote, I'll figure out who it was, but don't react. Respond, basically, is what I heard. So that's another one. Just emotions in general, right? Anger, stress, fear, anxiety, insecurities. I mean, don't be insecure. You're so much more than what the outside is, and there's things we can't do about our appearance. We should work on it for our health, and just to be the best versions of ourselves. But there's a lot of people with a lot of handicaps, and they're amazing people, and they're doing a lot of good things. So your body is it's just what's carrying the real you, basically. And obviously you want to make sure your vehicle is running well, because you might go into some crazy terrain, some crazy weather, and you need to be, your car needs to run well so that it can take you to where you want to go, so that you can do what you need to do. So that's another one, is just stop comparing, stop thinking and just do you for what you want to do. Another one is advice. Damn, I'm just going on a tangent. Is advice. What is good advice, and when to take it and when not to take it? Because there's a balance to that too as well. People will give you good advice, but ultimately they don't know what you're capable of, or who you are, or what is in you, right? But there's also sometimes you can be, an outside perspective is good as well. But I've been in both situations where I've not taken advice and done my thing, and I've been screwed. But I've also taken advice and not listened to myself and have been screwed. So there's a balance to have confidence in yourself, but also not be overconfident into where you're not blinded by reality, if that makes any sense. And I've been blinded by reality, believe me. Okay, another one is ego. Keep your ego in check. Ego comes in many ways. I used to think ego and pride was, maybe vanity or things like that. But it can come in many forms. There's people who don't like being wrong, who are know-it-alls. They think they're always right? Some people are conceited. Some people think they're just, the toughest people in the world, the most beautiful people in the world. Whatever it is, it manifests in many ways. Pride is I used to think I didn't have pride, but I do have pride. I did have pride. But my pride wasn't I used to think that I wasn't proud because I wasn't walking around arrogant or thinking I'm badass and stuff. But I never wanted to ask for help. I never showed people that I was struggling. I always had, I just didn't tell people, And there was times where I should have asked somebody for help, and instead I didn't because I was ashamed or whatever. I'm like, right. So just don't let pride get in the way. We all need help. We all got to do it. We all have something to learn from each other, and we don't know everything. And we don't basically, we don't. If we did, I don't know. Anyways, what's another one? Another one is not giving people power. Like, just, dude, your life is like a video game. You're gonna die one day. You don't want to have regrets. And I'm just saying, like, live your life. Don't let people stop you. Do something. And what I've learned is making a mistake is better than not making one or not trying. As long as you learn from your mistakes. Or even if you try and you fail, it's better than not trying. Never knowing. Honestly, from my own advice, from my own experience, that is 100 times true. And it's basically like the coward dying 100 deaths versus, somebody dying only once. So, not doing something, a piece of you inside dies. So that you don't die inside, try. It's the worst that can happen. I used to be scared of being embarrassed until I've been embarrassed. It's like, what's the worst that can happen? Nothing. Dude, people boo you, you get embarrassed, but it's like liberating. It's like, oh, you didn't die, you're good. And it gets easier every time. You become, you develop thick skin. So that's my next lesson. Thick skin. Develop thick skin. Don't be such a baby. Take criticism. You don't have to let it defy you, but like, if somebody tells you like, hey, I don't know, whatever, don't get all butthurt and sad. That's all I'm saying. It kind of seems like everybody's sensitive nowadays, and I'm not saying be heartless, but don't take everything so personal. I kind of think like we're all walking on eggshells with each other, and we shouldn't. So I guess that's it. I don't know. I went off on a tangent. I don't know if I'm going to put this up. I don't even know what's happening right now with me, because there's hella stuff that I'm just debating what to do, and it's driving me crazy. It's not driving me crazy, but I got to make some decisions.